For XRP holders, these two dates are going to be crucial because Jerome Powell is taking center stage. We've also got to talk about AI actually destroying crypto. And yes, 3 years in crypto is like decades in other industry, and Ripple Labs and XRP have been hindered by the SEC. My question to you is, have you been hindered by the SEC? We're going to start it off with a little joke. What's the biggest mover of price for XRP? It's easy. It's Gary Gensler. Well, it's a joke, but it's true. Start off with your comments. Trick, Odell, and Justin Grant all dropping donations for the channel. Super thank you to those who meant. Hey, when you see these guys on the live stream, thank them for their support. I'm greatly appreciative of it. That's why I wanted to share it with all of you. Glenn comes in, and Glenn answered my question. Hi, I sold my XRP after the Torres pump. Still waiting to buy back in. How low can it go? Well, I'm going to share with you 2 days coming up, of which we might have some buying ops depending on if Jerome Powell is going to be nice or not. Swing it on over to the heat map. Bitcoin's in at 26,056. ETH 1663. XRP sitting at 51.8. While XLM right now sitting at 12.2, down 2.3% last 24 hours. Take a quick look at the XRP chart. We're going to move it over. Ooh, see that purple bubble? Yep, this is what we're going to have to pay attention to. We're going to get into it soon. But first, X users manipulated by ChatGPT bots to visit malicious crypto sites. The botnet, dubbed Fox 8 due to its links similarly named crypto websites, was discovered and made by researchers at Indiana University in Bloomington. It comprises of at least 1,140 accounts designed to share a mix of original tweets, retweeted posts, and images taken from outside of X. It also posts crypto, blockchain, and NFT-related content, engages with influencers, and promotes the suspicious websites. So now you've got very, very technically sound AI misleading you. Now, we talked about this in yesterday's video. About half the users of Elon, right, followers of Elon, are bots. The problem is, are bots swaying people now in the wrong direction with their misinformation? When AI came out big, I don't know, about 5-6 months ago, people out there were like, oh, this is going to be awesome, this is going to be great. Oh, really, is it? Because the last time I checked, when AI gets so good that you can't tell the difference between AI or a real person, might be screwed. Why? Because they're misleading you down the wrong path. And we know there's a bunch of people out there that are blatant sheep that follow the masses. And if these masses are made up by AI-driven disinformation channels, bots, sites, whatever you want to call them, that is really bad because it can really screw a lot of people over with their money. So yes, some of you out there may be saying, hey, AI is the revolution of the world, but I'm saying AI is just like any other tool out there. In the wrong hands, it can become destructive or productive. Let's talk a little bit about 3 years. And I wanted to highlight this, okay? Deaton, XRP U.S. adoption hindered by SEC lawsuit, claims pro-XRP lawyer John Deaton. And as always, any article you see in this video or any of my others, no, they're not bots, will be linked in the description below. Think about this quick, and I'm going to share a story with you after this, and then we're going to get into what these two dates are and what it could mean for XRP price talk. Deaton comes out and says, you could never underestimate the damage that the SEC's lawsuit has caused. Not only against Ripple, but XRP. 3 years of adoption, that's what it caused. Just how long is 3 years in crypto years? And dude, seriously, I'm with you on this. But we'll keep going and I'll get into it. People seem to forget how much Coinbase promoted XRP before the lawsuit. I personally doubled down on my XRP holdings after Coinbase listed XRP and promoted XRP's utility. It's very, very true. What about XRP Ripple Labs, the Moneygram partnership that was so many years ago, right? 3 years in the crypto space is a lot longer than you think. 3 years is an eternity in the crypto space. Think of how different it has been over these last 3 years, what you saw, okay? Now, I do believe that this was a definite attack going after Ripple Labs because they had a product that was going to challenge the movement of money. And that bothers big governments out there because they want to control money. Because controlling money is controlling people. Controlling information is also controlling people. That's why I brought up this whole X users and AI chat GPT bot scheme. See, there's a method to the madness. That's why you hit the subscribe button, because you get news both good and bad without all, the sheep leading. Now, let's talk about these two dates, okay? Got it up here on the chart. I really believe you're not going to see too much going on until we get to these dates right here. And I've got the 24th and the 25th highlighted. Why do I have those two dates highlighted? Oh, man. Fed official interviews from Jackson Hole Summit. That's 10 a.m. on Thursday the 24th. And Friday, 10:05, Powell gives an opening speech at the Jackson Hole Summit. They're going to talk finance. They're going to talk markets. And that's what everyone is waiting for. Even the stock market is going to be on pause because they're waiting to see if Jerome Powell is like, yo, we need to hit it more. We need to hit it less. Remember, there's no Fed meeting this month. This kind of replaces the Fed meeting in terms of his speech after the rate hike announcement. So all eyes are going to be on Jerome Powell because remember, it's not just the United States that's affected here. It's central banks across the globe. Seriously, a bunch of central banks take cues from the U.S. Fed and central banks. So if Jerome Powell is like, you know what, seriously, we're not happy with inflation, we're going to have to hit it more, the economy is strong, well, then you know what's going to happen in the markets. They're going to go down. So we go back to the original comments that I shared with you. And seriously, thank you all for the comments. Keep them coming. I put the best ones up on the screen. Comes back to Glenn. Sold my XRP after the Torres pump. And I was the one that said it. Torres pump ain't going to last. Good job, Glenn, for listening. Still waiting to buy back in. How low can it go? Well, again, it depends on the comments for Jerome Powell and other Fed people during these next 2 days. Because if they come out saying, hey, look, the economy is strong enough, we can hit it with more rate hikes, that's going to drop retail purchasing down because we know institutions just aren't getting in. Now, some of you out there are going to say, but Klaus, the economy isn't that strong. But I'm going to tell you a story right now, and actually, let's go big screen. So in relationship to the economy being strong, here's my story. I bought a car 4 years ago. Nothing nice. It was a car for me to get around and honestly, seriously reliable, totally cool. I know it sounds really boring, right? Well, yesterday I sold that car for 50% more than what I bought it for. Think about that. I know there are struggles out there. I know things are still super expensive, but there's still a lot of money floating around from the whole Rona time when Fed funds rates were near 0 to a quarter. So I was able to sell a car for 50% more after I had driven it 60, 70 something thousand miles, right? Beat the hell out of it. My wife backed it up into another car and screwed the bumper on it. I think she hit the trailer too or something like that and put a hole in the other side. Either way, the car sold for more. People had more cash. In fact, there were people out there willing to pay almost 60% above what I purchased it for. So there is still a lot of money out there, and that's what Jerome Powell is talking about, that people still have some reserves. Now, I'm going to be fair here, okay? And I'm just, this, like I said, you get news both good and bad, and you're going to get my view here. I agree with what he says, except I also don't agree. The part that I agree with is I believe the middle to upper class still has a lot of cash. Still has a lot of cash in their coffers and reserves. Why? Because when the Rona pandemic hit, a lot of people in middle to upper level jobs were able to keep their jobs. Their jobs weren't downsized. They were able to work from home and still keep their pay levels and also receive stimulus money one way or the other via direct checks or injections into global economies. So that group of people were able to raise the amount of savings that they were able to have so that when we started dealing with inflation, that big chunk that they had, they could just use little bits of it to get through this inflation part. Now, the lower middle class and the lower class, right? We know what happened to them. They weren't allowed to work from home. Service-based industries were not allowed to work from home, right? If you were a hotel, restaurant, bar, anything like that, could you work from home if you were a server, a waitress, busboy, chef, or anything like that? No. What about people with like construction jobs and all that, right? Were you able to do construction from home? No. So that class right there, okay, lost wages and now are dealing with high rates, right, for interest along with high inflation, right? So their savings, which was lower, is going to get eaten up faster. So what Jerome Powell is doing when he says the economy is healthy and strong, he's taking a very broad stroke of the market, saying there's a lot of people out there able to withstand it. And he's right. The problem is, though, the lower middle class to the lower class are just getting absolutely annihilated, and the pain there is severe. Now, what we all have to pay attention to is those 2 days at Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Why? Because when he talks, we know the market reacts, and we also know that the SEC drama with Ripple Labs XRP is going to continue for quite some time. We're not going to get a break there anytime soon. So let's pay attention to the market these next few days. Glenn, if you're listening, might have some buying ops coming out there. For those of you looking to DCA lower, you may have a chance. Now, if Jerome Powell comes out and says, whoa, the economy is shaky, I don't know if we can hit it, expect crypto markets to go up, because then that's hinting that Jerome is going to take a pause, and other central banks around the globe and other countries where their economies or their financial tools are pegged to the US dollar. Sorry, my voice is still roasted from my race. Then that would send cryptos on up. Let's pay attention these next few days. If I get a chance, I will try to live stream that event. So like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out. Keep those comments coming. What am I doing today? I am still in shutdown mode because I crashed hard yesterday because my adrenaline finally wore off from the big race on Sunday. What are you cool cats gonna do? Well, you're gonna hang out and wait for another video that's coming out today that I'm already working on. I'll catch y'all later.